Okay, welcome back. We still have a lot to do. We're kind of running out of time here. It's one more week left in February, and I'd like to reiterate my goals, get through the top 100 hitters. I like to go through the top 100 starting pitchers as well. Maybe not as important because you're only going to have 5 to 7 starting pitchers in most leagues. Um, so maybe, top 70 is more realistic, but, I'm going to try to get through as much as possible. I like to throw in a few videos of like sleeper picks outside of those top 100 ranks that I think could be top 100 ranked players by the end of the season. So I have a lot to do in just the next 2 or 3 weeks for people who are drafting right before the regular season starts, like I do. So all right, we finished with Victor Robles. Victor Robles, I'm already going to, spoiler alert, probably going to be lower than 60 by the end of this video. Let's just jump right in. Let's take a look real quick. Updated stats. A few things. Look at this. Since the last video, Cody Bellinger has jumped up ahead of Mookie Betts. Interesting. Where have we seen that before? Cody Bellinger above Mookie Betts. Wow, that's what I predicted. So that's something new. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter about the expert rankings. It's just how you feel and what you like. So today's going to be Soler, Muncy, Robert, Brantley, Castellanos. I want to try to make these videos a little quicker if I can, but it's tough because I really want to be thorough through this. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to miss out on anything. So Soler broke out in a big way last season, and I think it's easier to see if we look here at his season stats, his career stats. Came into the league at age 22. Last season, broke out at age 27. One thing, look at the plate appearances. He was not getting consistent playing time for most of his career until last season. And look what the numbers he put up. Okay? So the question is going to be, is this production sustainable for him? We haven't seen him do something like this before. So kind of gauge that and judge it. We look at some of these advanced statistics, some of the behind the scenes. Well, this isn't really that advanced, but walk percentage. He's close to his career. So that's sustainable. K percentage last year, not far off. I think that's also good. His BABIP was actually below his career average, which means maybe he can even be better potentially. The WOBA, the ISO, those two things jumped out in a major way. For this, I'm really going to want the StatCast numbers from Baseball Savant to back up this jump. If they don't, then I don't think that they're going to be sustainable. But we'll take a look at those at the end. Looking at his hitting profile, as far as fly ball percentage, hard hit percentage, I think that those are sustainable. And look at this. He jumped from 43 to 46, 47%. He's quite a bit above his career average for hard hit. That could just, be a change in mechanics or just some confidence. I think one thing for Soler, and we'll get to it when we look at his advanced stats, I think because he got consistent playing time, playing day in and day out, he got into a good rhythm, a good feel, and just kind of kept that going through the whole season. And I think these other seasons where he wasn't getting consistent time, it kind of, he couldn't get into a good rhythm in a way, So look at this, home run to fly ball, smashing. And that goes hand in hand with the hard hit percentage. It's going to go hand in hand with the exit velocity stats that we're about to see. It's crazy stuff. Contact, zone contact, nothing to be crazy about, slightly above his career average. I think that's sustainable. He does swing out of the zone a decent amount, 27%. But here, these are the StatCast numbers. Expected WOBA, even higher than his WOBA. Like he had a great season last year, and it could have been better based on expected stats. He'd always had the launch angle. Exit velo, this is it. So this is the other season here. 2015, the first year we have StatCast numbers, 91.7 exit velo. He had more batted ball events than these seasons in between when he's only hitting 89 miles per hour. So I think it's the more consistent playing time, that kind of matches up for me. So I think if he's an everyday starter in Kansas City again, which heck, he's going to be, I think he can replicate this. So now the tough part is going back to compare the stats and figuring out where he fits, okay? He's going to be over Robles. He's going to be over Mondesi. For me, he's going to be over VR. Bo Bichette, Ramon Laureano, Josh Bell. Josh Bell's the first one where I'm kind of thinking to myself, I don't really know. Like, could he be over Josh Bell? Well, luckily for all of us, we can just quickly put in Josh Bell, take a look at some of the advanced stats, and see. Now I'm questioning this matchup about him, Soler being over Bell, because Bell had such a great plate discipline, contact rates. Look at, he only strikes out less than 20% of the time, walks more than Soler. The power numbers are going to be similar, like fly balls, home run to fly balls. I mean, hard hit, mid 40s, upper 40s percent. That's all great, but here it is. Josh Bell's he's gonna chase a little more, but look at out of zone contact. Josh Bell hits 66%. That's a crazy, crazy number. In zone contact, even the past 3 years, more consistent than Soler. I think I like Bell a little more overall. Bell figured out the launch angle. One counter Bell point is that second half of the season, that collapse. He came out of the gate swinging hard and collapsed. It means similar. Look at the jump and exit velo. Launch angle. I don't know now looking at this though. They both kind of broke out last year. Bell the worst second half. Maybe Soler his stuff is a little more sustainable, but overall contact rate, a higher walk, lower strikeout for Bell. I do like that in a power hitter, someone who's going to keep putting the ball in play and hitting it hard. I think that overall is just going to translate to better numbers. So I don't think I can put Soler over Bell, and for that case, I got to trust the rest of my rankings above Bell and just go ahead and put Jorge Soler right there. Okay, let's move on. Next player. We're looking at someone named Max Muncy. My gosh, one of my favorite players in the league. I owned him in several leagues last year, so I'm very, very biased. I'll tell you that going ahead. But we'll just compare him head-to-head with Soler. I mean, Muncy, 2 seasons in the league, smashing the ball. Came out his rookie season, 481 plate appearances. He outperformed, he had some better stats than he did with the 589 he did last year. So, I don't know, sophomore slump. But sophomore slump, look at this, 100 runs, 98 RBIs, 31 home runs, and even hit 600 plate appearances. Early in the season, last year in 2019, there were some concerns because he was playing, 4 or 5 games a week, kind of being rotated in and out. But he kept producing, and they had to keep him in the lineup. They found ways to keep him in there most days. So that's really reassuring, and I think that's going to continue. And look at this WOBA number for Muncy. Let's look at the hitting profile here. Muncy, Soler, it's going to be pretty similar, home run to fly ball. Muncy with more line drives, less ground balls. And some of those line drives are going to translate to home runs, so I kind of count that as a wash. Hard hit is going to be similar. Muncy doesn't chase as much. And when Muncy chases, he hits it more often than Soler will. In zone contact, so less overall contact, Muncy's got a slight edge. But look at this, expected WOBA, Muncy. 2 seasons in the league, 385 is just low for expected WOBA. I like to see that. Launch angle, they both have the launch angle. Exit velo, Soler's got him beat on the exit velo and the barrels. But, one thing that I really like about Muncy is the team that he plays on. If we look at roster resource Dodgers, just to kind of get a gauge of where we think he's going to be in the lineup. Muncy batting second behind Mookie Betts in front of Turner and Bellinger. I will take Muncy 1,000 times out of 1,000 ahead of Soler. I mean, just for fun, let's look at what the Royals are going to be looking like. I mean, Soler's going to mash no matter what, but is he going to have as much run and RBI potential? I don't think so. Mondesi, Dozier with Merrifield in front. Maybe the RBIs, but I don't know about runs. So I definitely like Muncy over Soler. Would I take Muncy over Bell? Again, disclaimer, I am extremely biased. I mean, Muncy's had 2 seasons. Not all of these peripheral stats like the exit velo, the zone contact, they're not super spicy, super good looking, but he just performs. And he's been consistent through 2 seasons, and I don't see him backing down. He signed 3 years with the Dodgers now. I mean, they're going to play him, and I think if he plays, he's going to perform well. Plus, he's got that triple eligibility. I would take Muncy over Bell, honestly. I would. And that second half for Bell really, really does worry me. It's kind of like the Jose Ramirez of 2018, and then came out in 2019 and still was not playing well. Heated up at the end of the season, but yeah, I don't know. I shy away from that. Joey Gallo, let's throw up Joey Gallo. Elite power, elite power. Joey Gallo, you give them the same amount of plate appearances, Gallo's gonna out-hit Muncy every single time. But again, that Dodger lineup is hard to ignore. It really is. The positional eligibility for Muncy plus being in that lineup, I think it can put him over Gallo as well. I mean, especially in a batting average league. Gallo really improved last year through 300 plate appearances, but seasons before just abysmal. Feast or famine for Gallo, but Muncy, it's like feast or just a normal meal. Like Muncy's going to be a little more consistent, a little more reliable overall. Oh, see that's hard for me to put him over Gallo. I think I could argue it. I mean, how far up could Muncy go? I really, really like him. But then you got to look at some of the peripheral stats and then... okay, let's say I put him over him. I know. See, this is what takes so darn long every single time. I mean, Muncy's going to outmatch Rosario potentially. He's hitting it way harder. They both have the launch angle. Exit velo. Muncy has a smaller sample size, so it's really harder to tell, but expected WOBA is like way above. How did I keep Rosario this high? That must have been the contact, and overall contact was 80%, I guess. Honestly, I don't know. I think being in really good lineups is going to help boost it, but you know what? Twins are going to have a great lineup too. Let's just check real quick. We're getting sidetracked. I know it. But this is important. We got to get this right. We got to get the rankings right. We got to get our draft right. I know you win a league through free agency and all that junk, waiver wire, but like if you draft right, you're going to be great. Rosario, I mean, you got Cruz, Donaldson, power on power on power. I still like Muncy. And again, I'm biased. You guys don't have to agree with me. Better ISO, better WOBA. Muncy's going to be a stud this year, and I really believe it. Like, honestly, I would maybe take him over Chris Bryant. Maybe not Josh Donaldson. Chris Bryant, though. Chris Bryant never has... I mean, Chris Bryant's counting stats worry me his entire career, pretty much. Oh, God. Briefly looking at these numbers. I mean, Muncy just outperforming. Muncy's got a very respectable launch angle. Oh no, I gotta take Muncy over Chris Bryant now. Oh man. I'm getting scared. How high up? I don't think I'm gonna put him over Donaldson. I just don't. And we're just gonna look at the stat cast while we're here. Just real quick. A big boost for Muncy overall. Yeah, I mean, legit exit velo, launch angle. Woba. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay, Muncie, welcome to the top 50. Holy smokes. Did not think we could have someone jump up this high again. I'm just curious to look at the experts to see. It ties 42. Okay, someone has them ranked as high as 42. So, fit in. All right. Let's just keep going. Who we got next now? Okay, Robert. I'm gonna call him Robert. I don't know. I forgot if it's Robert, Robert, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. This guy. So it's difficult. He hasn't played in the major leagues yet. What we can do is look at the fan graphs and just kind of get a gauge. So future value 60. Okay, so you might be looking like, okay, well, what the heck does that mean? If we go ahead, open up the prospect list, and we say, oh, future value. Let's get an explanation. Okay. 60. 60 is the guy who can be an all-star, up to 5 WAR. Then you get to the 70s, 80s. These are like top, like Acuna, Trout, all that stuff. I mean, if we look, let's just pull up Acuna in a new tab. Acuna was a 65 future value, okay, coming in. Who are some of the other top studs? I mean, Mike Trout's been in the league for so long. I don't think he's going to be in here. I don't know, like Yoan Moncada. I remember he was hyped up a lot coming into the league. He was a future value 70. Like he was going to be a top player in the league. He hasn't quite lived up to that. And then you look at people like, people in the minor leagues right now, like Wander Franco. I'm sure a lot of people, especially in dynasty leagues, are like, oh, I know who that is. He's a future value 80, top guy. Gavin Lux. He got some experience last year. He's a 70. So, these are the type of people. So, we're looking at Luis Robert. He's a 60. He's going to fit somewhere in this category. He can be anywhere from a Carter Kieboom to Joey Bart, who's getting a lot of hype. So he fits in there. You see him, right? So, let's go ahead and take a look at his profile. I know we looked at Tatis's minor league numbers in the prior video. So if we just look here, we can kind of project. I don't know. You got all these projectors here for stats. 20 home runs, 70, whatever. So this reminds me, his teammate's going to be Eloy Jimenez. Let's look at what Eloy's prospect numbers are going to be. He was a 60. He was a 70, 80 raw power, game power 60, 70. Not as much power for Robert, but he's got speed, insane speed. So stolen bases, predicted to get about 20. So he's going to be a 20-20 guy, 25-25 guy. Babbitt's going to be up there. They're expecting a decent WOBA above 300. Looking at minor league numbers, doesn't walk a ton, strikes out a fair amount, 25%. Yeah. And looking at the minor, I hate that they don't have contact rates in the minors. That's okay. So it's really, really tough to place him. If I'm like, okay, he's a 20-20 player, maybe 80 runs, 80 RBIs. So we'll be a little optimistic there. So where does he fit? A 20-20 player. That's like Jonathan VR status, right? So, we pull up Jonathan VR's numbers again. Who, by the way, has multiple eligibilities on the infield. Shortstop's not that valuable, but second base is. He's a 20-40 guy, who's going to get you numbers. I think VR is going to outplay Robert this first season. There's a lot of hype there, but, being an unknown, obviously, dynasty keepers, you put them higher. But if you're in a redraft league, I don't know if I put him over VR. Honestly, this might be where I kind of break the ice with Mondesi and say, oh, maybe I would prefer Mondesi's absolute known speed to Luis Robert, who's a little more of an unknown. I take them both over Robles just because Victor Robles, let's see. I mean, Robles could be a 2020 guy, sure. Yeah, Robles could be 2020, 2030 stolen base kind of guy. But as far as like OPS, I think the counting stats could be similar with Robert and Robles. OPS, on base plus slugging, kind of predicted to be 7, maybe high 7s, low 800s. So that's going to be better than Robles has been in his career. I think they're going to be pretty similar, Robert, Robles. Let's just see, just for fun, let's just see where Victor Robles, what his prospect numbers were. He was a 65, 70 speed, 50 raw power. 70 speed, a little more raw power for Robles, but better in the field for Robles, 65. And he hasn't been that great his first couple of years. Hopefully he can break out this year, but I would really, hold back on the expectations for Luis here. I don't see a superstar, not in this first season especially. But sure, if you want to put him over Robles, go for it. I think that they're going to be pretty comparable this first season. All right, 2 more real quick. Brantley. Brantley is legit a bad man when he's in the batter's box. Look at this. Oh my gosh. And he's done it his entire career, which is so impressive. This is not a typo. If we look at this contact rate, this is legit stuff. He was doing this stuff before the Astros, before trash cans, whatever is going on. Upper 90s. This is his worst season. 94% zone contact, overall contact, insane numbers. Like, absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. And he's just a professional hitter. He's not barreling it, not an elite exit velo, decent launch angle, but he puts the ball in play. Makes a lot of contact. When he makes contact, it's medium or hard. Very solid player. He's going to get on base. Going to make things happen. Depending on where he's at in the lineup. Houston Astros. Depending on where he ends up in the lineup, which is going to be third. Okay, if that sticks, RBI run potential galore. The WOBA's going to hold up. The BABIP, a BABIP of 315 isn't like elite, but if he's putting the ball in play 90% of the time anyways, and you have a 315 BABIP, that's going to translate to so many hits, getting on base. The OPS throughout his career hasn't been spectacular, but absolutely he can repeat what he did last year. But the thing is, the counting stats now, 2 full seasons in a row, 2018, 2019, not great. Not great. Speed fell off. Not great. Okay, so solid player. Very, very good real-life baseball player. Not an exceptional fantasy asset, though, unfortunately. I don't see the speed coming back in a big way, especially on the Astros. The Astros, for whatever reason, last year were not stealing a lot. Weren't the worst in the league, but compared to prior years, what their players used to be able to do, really not. I see him kind of maxing out what he did last year. Career high in home runs, career high almost in RBIs. I see him kind of matching that. So based on ranking, that contact rate I think is very beneficial as far as like getting on base, getting runs, getting RBIs, those counting stats. I put him over Robles. I'd put him over Robert. Would I put him over Mondesi? Remember, Mondesi's a guy who can get you 50 stolen bases, win you that category single-handedly. If you're in an average league, Brantley's very, very valuable. OPS, he's going to do decent at 850. I mean, his career number is 792. Not great, but he's been better of late. I don't know. It really depends on if you like the speed or not. If I put him over Mondesi, who would be next? VR. I don't know if I put him over VR. VR is going to match him in some of these counting stats and way more stolen bases. Even though Brantley's a very special real life baseball player, it's not elite for fantasy, but serviceable, absolutely. I think I put Mondesi over him. You know, Brantley's not the elite power that a lot of these guys are that kind of jumped over Mondesi. Because some people have Mondesi ranked really high, but so I think I end up putting him here. And I don't know, I'll sit with it and see how I feel. So Mondesi 61, Brantley 62. Brantley 64 here, up to 39. I mean, yeah, he's a great real life hitter. I just don't think for fantasy. And where the heck is Mondesi again? Ooh, 20 to 79. Yikes. Okay. All right. It just depends if you like the speed or not. That's okay. All right. Last player to get 65, Nicholas Castellanos. Okay, Nicholas. Let's just real quick look at his career stats just to get a feel for what type of player he is, and then we can kind of say match him up. Well, where should he be in the rank list based on what we already know about other player stats? Counting stats not great, and he was with the Tigers, so not a great offense in these most recent years. Went over the Cubs last year. He's doubles machine, which is going to help with OPS with that slugging percentage. Decent for batting average, no speed at all. Doesn't walk. Pays normal amount of times, I guess. Not terrible. BABIP's good. BABIP's really good. Woba's very respectable. And on the ISO, slight bump in the ISO last year. Nothing extraordinary. He's not going to be in the elite power hitter category. Does hit the ball hard. Career soft of less than 12%. That's great. Very respectable, very sustainable home run to fly ball. And he's going to hit close to 40% fly ball. So that's pretty good. I like to see that. His own contact was elite last year. I mean, kind of jumped up. I don't know what happened there. Maybe the change in scenery to the Cubs really affected that. But he's going to chase. He's going to chase a lot. 36.5% for a career chase rate. That's not great. He's got the launch angle, does not have an elite exit velo. 89 is really good for 4 seasons. He just hasn't hit that bump, hit over that 90 miles per hour. And barrels a decent amount. Expected WOBA a little higher than what he usually does. So do with it what you will. Very durable player so far. He hasn't missed a lot of time in his career. So I don't know. He's not a player that really excites me. I mean, if I look at him and Brantley, I mean, Castellanos will hit more home runs, probably better counting stats too. Neither of them are going to get a ton of steals. Similar OPS. I mean, I guess I would take Castellanos over Brantley. And again, because I'm not familiar with the lineups, real quick. Cubs. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. He went to Cincinnati. That's right. I was like, what the heck is going on? So another change in scenery. Cincinnati behind Moustakas, batting in the 5th seed. Okay. It's not bad. You know, Joey Votto continues to struggle, doesn't get on base a lot. Maybe Castellanos jumps up to that 2 slot later on in the season. I could see it happening. That would really, really boost his stock. It's tough. Would I take him over Brantley? Brantley's elite with the contact. We just heard about that. Better launch angle. Exit velo, similar. Brantley in the better lineup. I guess I keep Brantley over him. Yeah, Castellanos doesn't really excite me that much. if you're in a league that where doubles get you like triple points or whatever, go ahead. Jeff Castellanos, he'll get you the doubles. All right, that's it for now. We'll just keep rolling along.